December 28th, 9:51 AM, District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Hello everyone, Triple S back, it's more Things Right Yesterday Trilogy. This is the final part of Turnabout Goodbyes, which would have been the final case of the game until they released the DLC, Rise from the Ashes, which I've mentioned like 600 times already and people are probably getting annoyed of it. But last time, Phoenix Wright did the most stupidest thing ever in the history of ever and ever and ever and forever, and even in the distant past when Star Wars happened, no one was as stupid as Phoenix Wright last time, where he handed the piece of paper which incriminated Von Karma to Von Karma to look at, and then Von Karma tased him, but really Von Karma, all he had to really do was just punch him in the face, and he could have just left with it. It's just like, why did you do that, Phoenix, you utter moron? But Maya did get then off of Von Karma in the struggle a bullet, which was evidence in DL6, so that's most likely going to come in handy, and unfortunately Edgeworth is probably going to plead guilty to killing his father, even though he probably shouldn't, but let's just go in. 3 testimonies we've got for this part, and then we're done. Yep, this is it, Judgment Day. Today things are going to get settled at last, a lot of things. What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. Hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge. Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Yeah, find like a radiator or something to touch. Why, pal! What's gotten into that girl? Dirty Gumshoe. Morning, Miss Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go, Detective? Have no fear, as promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. Well, that's the thing though, you can't present the letter because you don't have it. December 28th, 10 AM, District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defence is ready, Your Honour. The prosecution is ready. Aha, right, very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed at the silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defence asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defence to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away from yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well, please begin your testimony. Why I left court. I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did, but I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I'd need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. And he goes back to sleep. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Okay, go to statement 4. Figured I got nothing to do with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Press. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yep. Seems like it. Then how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, huh? You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger's head? It's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness, please continue. And then we press this statement, the motive. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth for the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold the grudge, it's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory, otherwise it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honour? You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past or lack thereof into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honour. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Order, order. Mr. Wright, there's a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honour. Ho-ho! Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself, so who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us this witness's name. Yanni Yogi. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi. That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi! From the DL6 incident. Figures the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honour, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This man, this witness, is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Simple? Ugh, I can't speak. Your Honour, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see, that makes sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burnt my fingers working with the stuff, yep. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burned your fingerprints off to hide your past. Huh. Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, we'll have to use his toes. I guess we will not be able to prove his identity. No! Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, what will you do now, Mr. Wright? Huh? It seems that the case has been decided, no? No! I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one! Nick, what are we going to do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief, huh? Yeah, very funny. I saw winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrots. What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to. Your Honour, defence would like to take Mr. Von Kammer up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Kammer up on my proposal? Exactly, Your Honour. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrots. Order, order. What do you think, Mr. Von Kammer? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrots, Von Kammer. I have a right to do as you suggested. Huh. Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. This is crazy. Well, still want to go through with your little game? Yes, I'm doing it. Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honour. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But it won't be the last with these games. Von Kammer's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence. Except the parrots. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrots. She's beautiful, though. Lovely looking bird. That's quite a bird, yeah, exactly. Please tell us your name. Name! The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please testify for us. Who is your owner? Hello, hello. Huh. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well, begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? I'm going to amend my guide because this is going to get crazy. Right. So, is that the only statement? Oh, I guess it is press. I thought we would be getting the ... as well, but... Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? Have we forgotten something? As I recall, 2 days ago... Polly! Have we forgotten something? Right. Don't forget DL6. Right. If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello. Right. That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot. Something we forgot. Hello. Right. Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Tisk. Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Wait. Don't tell me Von Kammer expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we asked if we'd forgotten anything? How would he know? Oh my god. Okay. So I think we just keep pressing this over and over until we get the... What do I say again? What do I say? What's the safe number? Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number to the safe in the shack? 1228. My, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Haha, ridiculous. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? What is it again? Yeah, it's just the file. The DL6 case file? What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something relating to that safe number? Which one is it? It's the case somewhere. It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident, December 28th. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Ah, he used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for this safe, Your Honour. That's how important that date was to him. I see, it certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Bah, this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM's card number to 0001 because I'm number 1. This has nothing to do with the date. Nothing! Indeed. Alone it is a little weak of evidence in a murder trial. We'd need some other corroborating evidence. Where am I going to find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more, if we just get one more piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well, witness, you may continue. Back again, statement 1. Witness, can't just tell you. I forgot. I nearly said it again and I realised. I guess we just gotta go with what's your name because that's all that's left. Maybe we should just get her to say her name. Polly, Polly, what's your name? Polly, Polly, Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity? Really? Of course. Yes, it does. Haha, fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he's Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honour, the proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... Oh, we're back to the... case file. We did the wrong thing then. The DL6 case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on then? Show us, or stop wasting our time. Very well. Mr. Wright, please show us the page. Where in this file is the information connected to this parrot's name? It's in the suspect data. Actually, I want to check. I haven't checked the case file and I want to check it. Look, it says the date. Suspect. Cop Yanni Yogi trapped in an elevator with the Edgeworth's memory lost due to oxygen deprivation after his fiancée Polly Jenkins committed suicide. Oh, that's bad. That's the revenge. Now we know. What am I doing here? Where in this file is the information? Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Suspect data. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly! Exactly, Your Honour. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. Bah! A mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Oh, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old! That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. Well, what are you saying? Summon the caretaker at the boat-rent shop. Immediately. Witness, tell us your name. Wait! This witness, he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. He's changed. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, you look totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. The bear. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order, order! Yanni Yogi. So was it you who killed Robert Hammond? And tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond. He said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancée, my social standing. Then this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years, this was it. Finally a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Boom! Edgeworth not guilty of that count. Karma, where's Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honour. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent, in this case at least. Ah. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicions for this particular case. So I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty! Yay! That's the end of the game, folks. Goodbye! That is all. This cause is adjourned. Oh, that smile on his face. Did someone just say objection? Wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth? Your Honour, I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. Uh-oh, what do I do? Objection. Give me a second. I'm in my guide. Okay. The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this new test statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Miss Edgeworth out. For 15 years, I have had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the instance where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. Murderer. Criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honour, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me! Even though you're pointing over there, you should be pointing at yourself. Order, order. This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah! It's obvious. We hold a trial, right here, right now. We try this man for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. December 28th, 2:24 PM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your efforts. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you kill your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy. Just crazy. Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? You just admitted to it. You confessed that you did it. In court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. December 28th, 2:30 PM, District Court, Courtroom number 3. We're back. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defence do the cross-examination. The statute of limitations on DLC's incidents runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defence have any objections? No, Your Honour. Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? There's a dog going crazy outside somewhere. Just won't shut up. Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth, I'm a prosecuting attorney. Miss Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. To testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. I think Maya's still trying to get Mia. To deal 6 incidents. Oops. That day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. Huh. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream. You were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out and I lost my memory of the events. Bah! The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honour. Here we go. The final one for this case. We've got to go to Statement 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A single gunshot, then a scream, and we present once again the case file. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honour, unfortunately you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony? The victim. Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly, the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot. Yet, the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honour, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice, however we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we've heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired had something to do with the case? Yes, I do. Your Honour, I think I will be able to show you proof. Impossible. Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? Words are hard, and I don't like them. I'm pretty sure in the original Phoenix Wright games, every single photo had the same image, and it was this one. Every single picture had that same image, so you had no idea which one it was without checking the name. So I know that one's the like photo, I can see it there, but in the past you wouldn't know. So I know that it's this one that I need to present. Yep. Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime, 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So, let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where? Your Honour, please get a clue. Show the judge the contradiction in the photo. Up here. It's right there. That should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see, a bullet hole in the door. Your Honour, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. Order, order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honour. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary, that's on page 1. Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. There was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. So you say... Order! I will have order! Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. Really? So all you have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defence's claim. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. Gah! How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all of my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else, who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick. Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honour. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father though that was not your intention? Yes, I did. Oh no. He's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying. My mind's gone blank, I can't find the words. Mr. Wright? Objection. Your Honour. I object. I'm just going to amend my guide here. Okay. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object, huh? Ugh. Nick? I don't know, his case is perfect. Oh no. Ah. It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it. It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honour. Huh? The second bullet. It existed. What? But we just had proof that it did not exist. I realise that, Your Honour. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. Yeah. So the criminal took the second bullet, but why? Huh? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? The murderer had to find it. The murderer didn't need it. Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Bah! The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. Had to take it? The murderer. What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honour. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But the murderer had to take that bullet. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance what? Maybe the bullet hit the murderer. The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer themselves was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside of them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. Two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, and yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow! It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. I can't speak. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean... it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh, man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honour. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Preach it to the heavens. Your Honour, there's the suspects. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? My hands are shaking. For what? Von Karma! Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah! You don't object? Huh. I see no need. Why honour this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery now. Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctors that operate on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out yourself. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere. But where? Disc. Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? Show evidence. Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... Thank you so much, Gumshoe, the metal detector. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find. Oh, I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you? Order! Your Honour, the defence requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough! I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It would have been cool if we could get a mini-game to run it over his body until, you know, beep, 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 beep. Yep. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. I wish it could have actually been more on his left arm, because he keeps grabbing there. So I would have preferred it if it had actually been there, and this whole time he's been grabbing his left arm. Because of it. Mr. Von Karma. You! It was you! See? where he's grabbing right there. I would have preferred if the bullet had been, like, there on his arm, and that's why he's been grabbing his arm this whole time. But nope, it's in his right shoulder. I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there was a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. We're grasping. But, Mr. Voltaic, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Mr. Wright, well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Voltaic's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Voltaic. What? You were close, one day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incidents. And here's my final proof. Oh, look at him sweat. Thank you so much, Maya. That's a bullet? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incidents. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? Yes, we all know about ballistic markings. It's explained in like every single game. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Voltaic, is the bullet... I cannot read that properly. The other, Mr. Voltaic, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. So the cadence, the right inflections to get that sentence to make sense. We could analyse both bullets. Then if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets had been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Voltaic, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Voltaic? That scream! I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet! I said quiet! You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you! Stop breathing my air! Get away! Get away from my father! It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Voltaic, it was you who screamed. Mr. Voltaic. Only you would dare defy me. So it was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you! I'll bury you in my bare hands! Death! Death! 15 years earlier. Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Voltaic, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalised. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! I would be louder, but I can't. It was a shock like none I'd ever known. Me. Penalised? Penalised, how you pronounce it? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. We didn't pry them open, they just opened. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was my destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died never knowing who had shot him. Later he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Even Von Kammer believes in spirits. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge. What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now end it. Very well. It appears that we have come to a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later. Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honour? You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honour. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty for the 2nd time in one day. That is all. This court is adjourned. December 28th, 5:38 PM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Nick! We did it! Did you see his face? Von Kammer looks even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! Gotta say I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. So, it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, right? You're welcome? I think you could have done better than that. Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. She's got you there. Whoa! Amazing, pal! You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. How you on, pal? And tonight let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month, but who cares? See, Miss Edgeworth? You should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. I feel foolish. Don't worry. Take it a little at a time. We'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this, unguarded. Oh, what's she doing? Hey, y'all. I've got to remember her freaking accent again. Lotta. Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yeah, yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day at the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? Oh, I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life is over. Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Fiancée. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that coming. Yo, Wedgie, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Yeah, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the student that questioned me. Oh god, I just choked, nearly died. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right? Yeah, what's up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh, what a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly? Nick! Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? $38? No. No! Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? That doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know! Really, right? I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, eh? Edgeworth. Huh? You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yeah. Oh god. There you have it. Grr. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you have always been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily too. Death! The death sentence for both of you! And if only I'd known, I'd have become a prosecutor. The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch right? Hey y'all, line up, I'll take a photo. I can't do the accent anymore. I think I'm doing it, but I'm not doing it well. Photo time, let's go. After that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. Poor guy. December 29th, 5:02 AM, Wright & Co. Law Offices. Whoa, I went on a hoverboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. Huh? What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Aw, she's gone. Goodbye? What time is it? Gah! The first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station! I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick! Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait! What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yep, only her voice, but still. She was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. She said to Gumshoe helped Mr. Grossberg and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. You're with the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya? Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Show Maya some evidence to cheer her up. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all the evidence pertaining to DL6. But you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. Oh. You better get gone. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. And off she goes with tears in her eyes, but a smile on her face. Thanks, Nick. Why was that off-centre? Oh, that bugs me. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page. And say goodbye to the novice defence attorney that I once was. Turn about goodbyes. Now a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim. Yes, Your Honour. Uh-oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. And there we go. That's the end of that case, and also the credits for the original game. We'll also get credits at the end of the next case. Hey pal, Miss Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a Happy New Year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Whoop! Detective Gumshoe! Then he hung his head in low and went right back outside. Kinda like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Oh, god damn it. Now you all know why I hated Von Karma so much right from the get-go. I couldn't hide the fact that I hated him. I couldn't pretend to not know him. Huh? Nick? No, I haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Huh? Oh, she's in Hawaii right now, yeah. God damn it, Larry. Land a girl that can live in the same country as you for just 2 minutes. Oh god, what are you doing? Who? Wright? Yeah, I remember him. I heard he's been busy lately. You know not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful. It's all because you're the tutorial prosecutor. And even then it wasn't you who taught us, it was, like, Mia. But who's it going to be next time? That's the question. Phoenix Wright. Ah, the defence attorney for whom I wrote that affidavit for, yes. Oh, you should know I've taken over management at the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Oh, so he's gone from being just a butler to being the head honcho with the place. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Grossberg. Oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright. Oh yes, me as understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. Oh, the days of my youth. At the centre, fresh lemon, you see. You should really get a new picture for your wall, Grossberg. Ah, Wendy. Phoenix Wright? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. Here she goes. I'm not reading that. And you're wrong about that, about the Phoenix Wright thing. He's a star. He's the best. He's a goddamn god. He's a dog-damn dog. Yay, powers. I'm pleased to announce the Pink Princess is a hit. I sure owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. And I'm keeping my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know? And considering the fact that Pink Princess is supposed to be a woman, and you're a dude, it'd be a bit weird of you to show your face in that costume. But that's just me. Hey, Nichols. Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. Sounds like she caught a call standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit, but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at anyway? We'll actually find out in the next game. Ah, Cody. Right, who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess. Alright. But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess suit. Ugh, what a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy my tender age. Told you, should not reveal your face in that costume at all. Hey, Lotta. Yeah, I remember Wright, that lawyer guy. Me, I'm in training to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them there's a ghost. Real. Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous. Okay, so I guess Mia showed up in the picture. So she's talking about a ghost. Yep, there she is. And the picture's different in the anime version. In the anime version, Mia's just right in front of the entire cast, like, photobombing everything. Victory! Capcom! Oh. A brand new episode has been added. See how different the artwork is? I mean, it's not even the artwork that I'm going to be putting in the thumbnail. And that button, you see that button on the girl on the left thing, the red one? Mouth open wide. I have that button, and it also appears again in Apollo Justice's Attorney. So, yep, but there you go. So next time, episode 5, Rise from the Ashes. I think it does also have a different name in the Japanese, you know, Turnabout something, Turnabout from the Ashes or something like that. Or Turnabout Phoenix or something like that. But for the English it should Rise from the Ashes. So, I guess it's just, is it going to go straight into it? Yes, I want to save my progress. I'll save it right there. I'll just end it off right there, because just in case. I don't want to actually save, because in case the recording messes up, but yep, so technically that's the end of the first game. Now we've got the DLC case, Rise from the Ashes, which is the longest case in any of the games. It's 10 parts long. The longest so far we've had of cases is 6 parts. This is 10 parts long. But with me cross-referencing my guide that I've been using for years playing these games, cross-referencing it with a different guide, should cut down the times of how long episodes should be, because the original guide that I've been using says, like, okay, these testimonies, press everything. But apparently you don't even need to do that, according to this other guide I found. Sometimes you don't have to press anything, just present something at one statement and that's it. But for some reason, the person who wrote the guide decided he wants people to press everything in the testimony, and it makes the episodes like 2 hours long. It's so annoying, but cut down next time. So anyway, gonna end it off there. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you decide to subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing, and ding that bell to be the first to hear about my new videos. Thanks again, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.